Welcome to Biotech Talk, Season 2, your one stop show for all the tidbits from the biomedical and life sciences industry. And today I have a very dear friend with me, Dr. Afsheen Raza. Right? Did I say
Thank
it
you
right?
so much.
Because I only
Yes.
call you Dr. Afsheen.
You always, sometimes you just call me Afsheen. And even that is fine.
Yes, yes. She's a very dear friend. We met at Abu Dhabi University when we went for
Yes.
a workshop, selling workshop, and we've been good friends since then. So, just to give a background about Dr. Afsheen, she comes with 15 years of experience in cancer research
Yes.
and have over 60 plus peer reviewed publications. And she's currently imparting that great knowledge to the students at Abu Dhabi University,
Yes.
right?
And I'm also the director for the Cancer Research Institute at
Yes,
Abu Dhabi University.
yes,
And this is a brainchild to bring actually clinical practice and basic scientists together.
yes.
So this is something very, very dear to my heart.
Yes, I can see her eyes just lights up. Twinkles come in her eyes when we talk about this. So I think like we have been having conversations this season about AI in healthcare and life sciences especially, and it is important from a research perspective, from a
Sure.
university perspective,
Yes.
an educational perspective to understand where is AI coming up in researches and how can that help further in clinical applications and everything, right? So that is at the end game, like as you also very strongly advise, patient outcomes is what
Yes.
matters,
True.
and
True.
any research that we do, it needs to come down to that.
True.
So I thought that is why I'm very honored to have you here
Thank you so
to
much.
have this conversation, very important conversations on that. I know you have led a lot of like you've been very instrumental in laying the foundation of cancer research in Abu Dhabi University as
Yes.
well,
True.
and it being one of the top universities. So over your 15 years of experience, can you tell us where is the gap that is coming, like we'll start at that first, like we'll address the gap from research when it comes to clinical application of oncology. Where is that gap that is happening?
So this is a very important topic now, and specifically in UAE, they're talking a lot about translational research,
Yes.
precision medicine,
Mm.
but there are a lot of hiccups in place.
Yeah.
When you talk about lab-based research,
Mm-hmm.
somebody may have a very good idea,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
somebody may have a very good biomarker,
Yes.
somebody may have suddenly found a novel drug
Mm-hmm.
target. Uh, Fortunately or unfortunately, bringing this idea from the lab or bench to the bedside
Yes.
takes a lot of validation,
Mm.
which
Mm.
is needed.
Yes, for
You
sure.
need, you cannot give something to a patient without validating it properly.
True.
So first step, it's a phase wise.
Mm.
First step, you go to the in vitro, which is
Mm.
the
Mm.
lab based validation.
Mm. Mm.
As we call it, discovery
Mm-hmm.
and validation phases. The discovery phase in the lab where you do the in vitro.
Mm.
Then you have to take it to the animal model, because you cannot just have everything that was done in the lab was in a controlled environment.
Yes, exactly.
You take it to in vivo, which is the animal model. You find, and sometimes you will find really great results
Yes.
between, which are very parallel to the in vitro as well as to the animal model.
Model. Yes.
Unfortunately, when you take it to a clinical trial, a human clinical trial, most of the time it fails over there,
Mm-hmm.
simply because of the biological complexities that are associated with humans,
Yes.
right?
Mm.
Human to human, as we say, personalized.
Mm.
Every person is different. They
Different.
will react differently
Mm.
to a drug. They will react differently or express a different type of biomarker,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
This is a huge complexity in place. We understand validation is very, very important,
Mm.
but sometimes the ideas get killed because of this reason, that so much is involved in just bringing it from bench to bedside.
Got it.
Other thing that is very, very important when we talk about gaps, the huge gap that I see from my perspective is, and being in this field for such a long time, is that sometimes the finances or the financial part of it kills the idea in the lab only,
Got it.
right? Somebody has a good idea, they got a small grant. Usually these ideas are done in labs of the universities,
Mm, mm,
right?
mm.
Funding is low or limited for universities, because bringing it again to an animal model or a model for a human model will take a long time for them.
Got it. Mm.
Usually pharmaceutical companies or companies who are involved, or granting agencies, big granting agencies are involved. Usually they will give the money only to low risk kind of projects,
Mm-hmm.
where they know that there's a pre data already available, so
Mm-hmm.
it's less risk for them to put the money into that idea rather than in a lab.
Mm.
So as I said, many great ideas just die in the lab
In the lab,
simply
it's a
because of the
buzz.
financial constraints involved with it.
Yeah, and also because of the lack of data that can back it up, right?
True,
Yeah.
true.
So I think, do you think AI coming into this field could bridge some of these gaps?
That is absolutely true. AI has been a paradigm, like a paradigm shift, especially in oncology. It has been such an instrumental, become such an instrumental part for research as well as diagnostics.
Yeah, yeah.
When we talk about AI, now we talk about big datas.
Mm.
If I'm working in a population in UAE,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to know, okay, there's a unique population here that has a unique genetic background, and can extract that data out from the electronic health records, for
Yes,
example.
exactly.
Can I do that? If I put a research associate or somebody to manually extract that data, for sure there will be data errors. Data cleaning will take time. When AI, you integrate data, AI into the electronic health records, for example, or in a research setting, you can extract large amount of data sets,
And compare and
and not
contrast.
only, exactly,
Mm-mm.
not only extract the data, it can actually structure it in a very proper structured manner. So now you have, for example, clinical notes from the patient that were unstructured, but when you tell the AI, okay, this is the tool that we want to use, these are the criteria that we are looking for, it will extract the data in that setup only, with the same lab values, having patients with the same lab values or similar kind of parameters. This is truly a game changer.
Yeah.
AI has truly been a game
So
changer
it
in this.
it can even support, like, let's say some kind of research shows that a certain kind of medicine works for only small group of people.
True,
Then
true.
that for small group of people this can be prescribed. That's how, like, the
That's
personalized
absolutely
system
true.
works,
That's
right?
absolutely
So
true.
and currently that system is not in place, and that is why a lot of things that could work for certain people but doesn't work for a majority of people
Exactly,
gets
exactly,
cancelled at the
exactly.
this thing.
So with AI, you have, if you have a very because it's machine learning every time. If, for example, it's very common now with radiology. Um, you train the AI on large data sets, which UK is doing a lot, and I'm sure UAE is also into it, where it picks up little lesions, for example, and then correlates it with the longitudinal data set that it has for example, before treatment, after treatment, what happens. And it picks out data, and it gives you very impactful data set that this lesion is important in a certain set of patient, or a genomic data, genomic mutation is extremely important in a certain population. Maybe the treatment will not work in these patients. AI is able to extract that information out as well. Responding patients, what was their genetic profile, what
Got
was
it.
the lesions being shown over there.
Exactly.
It's very, very high quality data that you have through AI, where you are easily able to connect the dots
Yeah.
and actually stratify the patients. It
Yes.
the reduction in the time and the
And the
cost,
effectiveness of it.
effectiveness, efficiency of
Yeah,
it, extremely important. I think AI
absolutely.
is really a game changer.
Yeah. So I think biomarkers, the discovery of biomarkers has been very instrumental for cancer research. So what do you say about, I think we touched about briefly in in when you were talking about it before, uh the there is a matching of biomarkers to the clinical trials and the patients,
Yes.
and how do you think AI can work in favor to that?
So when we talk about clinical trials, the main objective of clinical trials is to have a patient population or enroll a patient population that specific criterias.
Okay.
If I'm working on a specific ethnic group in UAE or Pakistan or India,
Got
right?
it. Mm-hmm.
Some of the populations will have a unique background, a unique genetic background, for example. Now, using AI, you can train the AI, or you can use AI tools to actually push these criterias to the AIs and integrate the AI to your electronic health record system.
Got it.
This is a game changer again. Why? Because you have a patient who comes in, a new patient comes in, he has certain criteria, high blood glucose level, some kind of a tumor marker, right? If AI tools are integrated into the electronic health record system, it can actually just flag the new patient for the clinical trial team, as opposed to when we do it in a manual setup where we have a research nurse, we have a clinician identifying the patient according to the eligibility criteria. It's very difficult because the human factor comes in. A clinical clinician who is involved in the delegation list may be on leave. A research nurse may not be trained accordingly. So AI tools can be very, very specific for that
So
matter.
it's outsourcing this very mundane yet time consuming activities from humans so that they can focus on the research part,
Exactly.
and these people can bring the complex big data analysis of the
Exactly. Big
things. Yeah.
data analysis or matching, as we said, matching is very, very important. You can go do a clinical trial in a long setup, and then suddenly you find out that, and this is very common in clinical trials, when you have manually somebody doing it, half of the patients are not matching the eligibility criteria, and then you have to apply for amendment to the regulatory bodies because simply it was not matching. Maybe two of the criteria were matching. AI will bring a really, really great perspective into it, because clinical trials need a very robust data set,
And
specifically if you are working on a very large
got
population.
it. And they communicate with each other. This is
True,
where it
true,
I think solves the problem, because that communication happens with the health records and the already existing
true.
digital health records of the person, and the clinical trials just has to communicate with each other to find out, okay,
E-
here this hospital, this person exists who is
Exactly,
could be eligible for this.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
so I mean it's
And
a
when you do multi-center trials, even within, for example, UAE, when we're talking about UAE, the trial can be in Dubai as well as in Abu Dhabi or in Sharjah or in Fujairah, right?
exactly. Mm.
How do you train all the clinical trial teams being on the same level?
Yeah.
It's not possible.
Yeah.
When the
And the
AI
processes
tools,
will vary from different places,
exactly,
hospitals, and
exactly. And
everything.
this is what I was talking about. And
Hmm.
this happens very commonly with the clinical trials, that half of the patient that were enrolled into the study have to be dropped out from the analysis, simply because they're now matching.
Matching the
So
exact
if
criteria.
you have AI tools integrated into the unified electronic health record system, that is available in UAE, by the way. So
Hmm.
it's done. You have a clinical trial, and the patient is being flagged, the specific with specific requirements, specific eligibilities. When it's being flagged in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, you will have a very huge data set with you, which will be very robust for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we've spoken so much about UAE and GCC as a whole as well. So, what do you think, is UAE ready for such an infrastructure to be integrated into research and translating it into clinical application? And where does UAE stand currently?
UAE has a very beautiful vision, as we say. We see a lot of because now you if you may have heard that they're even pushing AI education into the
Yes,
primary,
in the students as
into
well. Yeah.
students, and
Yeah.
this shows the vision of UAE towards AI, how important they think this is, how important they know it is. UAE is ready for it, but of course it has to be, there's a always with these data tools that you use with AI, you still have to think about the patient confidentiality.
Yes,
You would
privacy
not
factor.
want your data to be open to everybody, right?
Got it. Mm,
Anonymity is
mm,
is one of the keys that is important. Good thing about UAE is that they have the unified electronic health record system, Reasati it's called,
mm.
and it is very it connects all the electronic health records of the patients who
Patient.
come.
That's
In
nice.
Abu Dhabi, we use the Malafi system as well, which is
Mm,
very now very active.
mm,
Once you integrate the AI tools, the same that we were talking about, if
mm.
you want to put a certain population, a unique population, you're doing a clinical trial on a population with a specific kind of genetic mutation, and this is very important in oncology.
Yeah.
You have to, this can be integrated into the electronic health record system, and you can extract out data. If you're just doing data analysis, you can extract out large data sets
Mm-hmm.
with the help of AI, as we say, data mining tools,
Yeah.
multi-omics data, genomics data,
Mm-hmm.
population-based data, comorbidity data. All of this can be used to generate high-impact data sets. UAE has the national unified national electronic health record system in place, so I think they are ready for AI to be integrated into
Integrated.
it.
Mm.
I feel that because we started in UAE and also in Abu Dhabi University, we started clinical research now, and some of the clinical centers that are doing in Abu Dhabi, I'm talking from the Abu Dhabi perspective now, they started the clinical trials. I think when we talk about AI, there's a very important aspect to keep in mind, the remote monitoring tools that you
Yeah.
can use with AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
When, for example, if you are doing a study on Alzheimer's disease, right, and you want to see, you give a wearable device to a patient that is integrated with AI tools, are integrated with the electronic health record system. You know that Alzheimer's patients are old. Getting them into the clinical setup is difficult because they
Yes.
are difficult patients as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
If you have that data set through remote monitoring,
Yes.
any data is can be
Is
integrated into the
integrated into
system through
system.
AI, and
Mm.
anybody can have access to it to actually generate a very high impact data, as we say, something that is data driven,
Mm-hmm.
that is evidence based,
Yes.
not just thinking but
Yeah.
evidence based,
Not
because
just
you
a
have the
theoretical
wearable
view.
device
Yeah.
bringing the data to
Bringing
you.
in the
So
data.
I think UAE is ready for it. They
Mm-hmm.
have invested a lot of investment into this. Truly, I believe UAE will
Game
use AI
changing.
for everything, that specifically for healthcare they're very active in it
Yeah.
now. So
Yeah.
it's for sure it's going to be great for us
Amazing.
as researchers, for sure.
I think that's a very positive note to end on right now. And yeah, it is true. Like it's gonna be a game changing. It's gonna
For
be a new
sure.
culture. Like one of our speakers said, AI is not just gonna be a new player or a new
Yes.
toy in the
Yes.
industry,
True.
but it's gonna be a new culture.
Yes.
And I think the region is ready for it,
Yes.
as a lot of us are
Yes. And many
saying.
of the people say, because some of the people have this perspective that AI is going to replace humans.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen in a healthcare setup,
Yes, because the
because
human to
you
human is
yes, the
important. Mm.
interaction is there, and then even if the AI is extracting data, somebody is still watching whether it's correct, whether it's anonymous. All this human levels are going to be there. There's going to be a leveling. You have the AI, but the human levels will never change, because they have to. But as you said, I really liked what you said when you said it's going to decrease or reduce the time to do the mundane
Mundane
tasks.
tasks.
Rather, AI is doing that
Yeah,
task for
yeah.
you, and then you can focus on doing the research
The
that you want to do. So
exactly.
it is very important for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, and that is where we are all heading towards, right? And we need to create the art in the science
Exactly.
while AI takes care of while we outsource the other work to
True,
AI.
true. This is transition. This is true
True
transition of the
transition.
healthcare system. And I believe I'm a very strong advocate of AI in
Absolutely.
healthcare, especially in clinical
An early
research.
adopter, you guys. I'm very glad that you were able to make it all the way from Abu Dhabi.
Thank you so much for
To
calling me. I'm
absolutely
truly honored to be here to talk about this. a topic that is
topic that
so close to my heart.
absolutely. Thank you so much. And we'll have another conversation as well later.
For sure, for
For sure.
sure. Maybe on just on AI and
Yes.
clinical research
Clinical research,
related.
have a panel discussion.
For sure, for sure. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so
calling me.
much.
I'm so honored to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely. This is Malavika Kanara signing off. Biotech Talk powered by Leader Life Sciences. Bye.